Mining job hunt video. Welcome to Australian Mining for New Starters, and in today's video we are going to collect jobs for the sponsors mining jobs to apply for, and they're all the jobs from around the country that we think you should be applying for. So let's jump over to Seek and type underground in and have a look. So KCA got a full crew ad out and they are looking for everything, so they are a good mob to contact, especially once you've done the sponsors training. Barminco experienced truck drivers. Now, as we've already talked about before on the channel with experience, you just need to show them that you know how their mine works, and if you come down here, its key requirements: experience with heavy earth moving equipment, haul truck equipment in a mining or a similar industry. So they're looking for people with previous experience, and the reason they're looking for people with previous experience is that if you have a look back through the job hunt videos that we've done, Barminco have been hiring a lot of entry-level people for these underground truck drivers, and they will have had the inevitable failure that always happens when they hire a bunch of green new starters that don't know anything about mining. And then what happens is the afterflow, is the reaction, is that the bosses only want experienced people because they don't want to run through a whole heap of new starters. They want people that are actually going to make it. And that's one of the reasons why you really should look at the training that the sponsor does, because that's going to give you all the information that you need to know to be able to make it. But again, you can see underground truck operator, they're looking for people that hold recent experience. They're not going to get anybody, or they're going to get very few people because of the way the industry is at the moment. Anybody with 12 months underground truck driving experience is looking for a service crew job, and places like Barminco regularly send around Facebook and Instagram ads advertising for people with 6 to 12 months truck driving experience to move into service crew roles. So you can see they're really struggling for people at the bottom, and they're struggling for people at the bottom that are going to make it. And that's unfortunate. So the key outtake that I have from that is make sure that you prepare yourself before you jump in the deep end. Because if you don't, chances are that you're going to, it's not going to go well for you. It's just the way the industry is. It's not anybody's fault. It's just the way the system's set up. And, instead of banging your head against a brick wall, trying to change the system, our approach is just to try and understand the system and give you all the tools to be able to make it. Truck driver job. Shooting race ball supervisors. A jumbo operator overseas. Bogger operators, leading hand service crew, bogger operator. So all these jobs, if they steal a bogger operator from somewhere else, then eventually somebody's going to have to go up the chain from a service crew role or wherever they're coming from, and the person under, they're going to have to replace them with an entry-level person. So all these roles that you see eventually are going to create a position for entry-level people underneath. Same with charge up. It's, if they steal somebody from another mine site, then somebody else has to be promoted into that spot. North Parks. This is a service crew role, but if you're over that side, it's worth applying for if you've done the training. Agi Operator. Everybody's looking for Agi operators because of the shotcrete that they use underground. But again, one of the biggest problems that the Agi operators have when they go in, even if you've got 5 or 10 years experience on an Agi, the biggest problem that you'll have is getting your head around how the mine works so they can leave you alone to get on with the job. Until they can leave you alone to get on with the job, you don't have a job. And that's the issue that everybody getting into mining faces. Getting up to speed quick enough so they can leave you alone to get on with it. Charge up, fitters for overseas, pace crew, charge up, Agi Operators and sprayers. Cable bolt. Diesel mechanic supervisor. Diesel fitters. A lead miner. See, even the drilling companies want experienced drill assistants now because they're just sick of the turnover of the new starters. It's just the way it is, unfortunately. If you don't know what you're getting yourself into, chances are you're not going to make it, unfortunately. So this is an underground. So it's a sampling job, but it looks like from the ad that they want somebody with experience, but not sure whether they're going to get somebody. So again, you know, if you want to get into the industry, it's a good way to go. Safety and training, Agi Operator, Barminco. Haul truck operator, projects all-rounder, mining operations, fitter, new to industry, mining superintendent, mining operators, that'll be on the surface with Thies. Thies used to do underground, they sold their underground division. Mining control operator. Field service fitter, mining operators, geologist, overseas work for fitters, we'll have a look at a few more. Just before we go any further, I just wanted to show the grads on the page that the new graduation positions are coming up, and if you want to have the best place to have a look at it, I reckon is on the Goldfields site. So the Heart of Gold, they've got a whole heap of grad jobs going, and they've got all that sort of stuff up, so you can see all the grad stuff down there that they're doing. So you can see all that. So that's where I'd have a look at it there, guys. And yeah, there's heaps around. Just keep looking for it. It'll all come up in the next couple of weeks. So raised bore operators, shovel department, trainee, electrician. See, they're getting rigged for their autonomous haulage system in the coal industry. So it's coming to coal, guys. So unfortunately, if your ore body's nice and close to the surface, then, you know, chances are they're going to use these driverless trucks. Oh, there's an interesting opportunity for somebody that's got some boiler making skills going underground. Okay, so there's a little bit around today. It's just after Easter, so it's been a short week as well. So there's a few places around, but yeah, it is what it is when it comes to all of it. They want experience. The reason that they want experience is because they want to be able to throw somebody in the deep end so they can be productive from day one. So let's have a look at the prices. gold is just a little bit off $3,000 an ounce, and at $3,000 an ounce, the gold industry in Australia is a $30 billion a year industry. So in the space of probably 3 years, it's gone from a $12 billion industry to a $30 billion industry. And depending on what the gold price does going into the future, I can see that going up substantially from where it is, especially with what's going on in the world at the moment. So the iron ore price is a little bit lower than it's been, but it is in that band between $120 and $80 that most of the iron ore companies think that it's going to settle into. So what everybody's telling me is that they've got this big oscillating band that's coming down, and the oscillations are going to get smaller and smaller, and it's going to sort of even itself out around that $100 or $90 a tonne mark. So hopefully that will happen. And if we come over to the coal price, coal is at $136 a tonne US, and that makes it it's been steady over the last couple of months. So hopefully it will keep being steady and go up a little bit. You know, I wish only good things for coal, but unfortunately, you know, there's a lot of headwinds against it with the mines opening up around the world, but also the political influences against it. There's been a lot of articles lately again about, you know, not wanting to open any new coal mines and shutting the ones that we do. It's just that, you know, coal's got some political factors in it that the other areas of mining don't. So if we come back over to this one, you can see copper is over $13,000 a tonne, and nickel has jumped a couple of $1,000s a tonne up to over $36,000. So at that price, all the big nickel mines in the country are all billion-dollar mines, or, you know, close to being billion-dollar mines. So it's significant amounts of money that people are playing with in this area. So where are all these jobs? If we come over to our map, and this map's loaded up with all the mines around the country that produce gold and all the metals that go into the batteries, you can see that there's a lot around. So there's a heap of stuff that's been advertised in Tasmania in the last few months. There's not that much in in Victoria, but if you're in Victoria and you want to move up, you want to stay in Victoria, then you've got a whole heap of stuff that's drive out of New South Wales that you can apply for around the Cobar, Orange, Parks, Dubbo, those areas. Of course, you can also drive in and drive out from those areas in New South Wales, and lots of people do. And people also drive down from Queensland in the southeast Queensland, Brisbane, Gold Coast area. But if you are in that Brisbane, Gold Coast area, you've got all the stuff that's up around Charters Towers and Mount Isa. And most of that stuff, or all that stuff, is also fly in, fly out of Townsville. So if you're in the north of the country, in the north of Queensland, there's lots of work up that way. If you're in Queensland, then you've got, if you're in the Northern Territory, then you've got a couple of big nickel mine, you've got a big nickel mine, Savannah, and you've also got Granites, which is Tanamide, up here, that's a big gold mine, and then you've got all the mines that are in WA, and there are heaps. There's also Olympic Dam and all the Oz Mineral sites in South Australia, which you can apply for that are fly and fly out of Adelaide. But if you really want a job really quickly, then my recommendation is to do the sponsors training, the intro to underground mining, or the work ready package, and head to a big mining centre like Mount Isa or Kalgoorlie or even Perth. There's a lot of fly and fly out in Perth at the moment that people aren't looking at. So yes, it works really well, the sponsors training. You can come over to their Wall of Fame page to have a look, and you can see all the people that leave messages that have gotten jobs, and there's lots. And you can even go on to a lot of these responses are from people that have just watched a video and done the training and then sent us a message. So it's really good from that perspective. All the instructions are there. If you want help, there's the work ready there. You get one of the shift bosses to become your mentor, and it gives you all the information that you need. And as you can see, it just keeps going on and on and on. Lots of people have gotten jobs. The reason lots of people have gotten jobs is because education's the key. When you can actually talk to the employers about how it all works, then you've generally got something to offer them. So I hope that information helps. Today's video is been shorter than normal, I know. school holidays at the moment, so things are a bit tight time-wise. For the grads on the page, like I said, check out the Facebook page. I've loaded up everything that I can find about the grad programs at the moment. I'm sure some job ads will come out shortly. But yeah, if you're trying to get in that way, now's the time to strike. If you're just trying to get in as a crew member, then like I said already, education's the key. The more you know, the easier it is to get a job. So I hope you found that information helpful, and if you could share this video around and like and subscribe to the channel. Thanks.